We've been talking about all these places around the country where records are either being broken or maybe about to be broken. But let's go to our correspondent, Andrew Plant, who's in Peterborough for us this afternoon. Andrew, in your short sleeves, how is it there this afternoon?
Yeah, you're lucky I'm not in shorts as well, Ben. It is baking hot here. Not quite a record, I don't think. The temperature thermometers on our cart here today is saying 35 degrees. Not sure quite how accurate that is, but I was having a quick look around a few minutes ago to see what the record was here, and the highest I can see is also 35 degrees. That was set back in 2019, and that's when the record, of course, of 38 degrees was set in Cambridge. So it looks like we're pretty much equal to that here, but of course there is still a couple of hours. A lot of the weather forecasts this morning were predicting the higher temperatures to be 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, so we've still got a couple of hours for it to get even higher than that. So you can see there are still a few brave souls, particularly out on the water here, a few people having a drink and one lady here having a barbecue as well. But mostly I think people have avoided the direct sunshine and stayed in the shade. And it is really hot everywhere, of course. We've had reports of problems all over the place. Road surfaces melting. I was told in Somerset County Council has got its team of gritting lorries out, normally reserved for when roads are freezing, of course, but today they're out doing repairs as the roads begin to melt in the very high heat. I've heard of reservoirs, not this one, of course, but others, Cheddar, again in Somerset, and a couple of others too that have closed from late last night until late tomorrow evening, because they are worried about people getting so hot. They are tempted just to take the plunge, and there are obviously hazards with that too. They're not protected by lifeguards or anything. Most of these places, there can be hazards under the water, and also the water can be a lot colder than you think, and you can suffer from something called cold water shock. So a lot of reservoirs closing today, and of course there have been problems on the trains as well. When you get to these kind of temperatures, you will start to get speed restrictions, and that's because our tracks are really designed up to about 27, 28 degrees. The track temperature, I'm told, can be about 20 degrees higher than the outside air temperature. So when we start to get up to 37, 38 degrees, the tracks can start to get up to, over 50 degrees. And that's when it can cause real problems, because they have to be able to expand and they have to be able to contract in cold weather. So there is a leeway for that, but they're just not used to these very high temperatures. And that can, in extreme circumstances, cause buckling. Not when they buckle up, but they buckle into a sort of S shape. A classic S shape, and it does happen. So that's why you'll get speed restrictions on the tracks, because they don't want the trains going too fast over those very hot rails. The advice, though, of course, if you are going out today, it's really on 3 levels, and it has been pretty much the same for the last few days. It is stay hydrated, stay out of the direct, especially midday sun, and keep checking, of course, on people who are less well able to regulate their body temperatures, and that really is the young and the older people too.
Andrew, all very good advice. Thank you very much indeed, Andrew Plant. And in fact, the police also warning people about going into open water